This is a Minecraft world being infected with Sculk. I mean, look at it. This is literally the definition of mess around and find out. All thanks to GR Microtron's Sculk Horde mod. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, oh, this isn't too bad. This is just a bunch of redecoration, right? Wrong. Look at this. Innocent, harmless looking village? Not anymore. It is now completely infected by Sculk. It's actually a different village. That one took too long to get infected. And I'm going to attempt to save the world from Minecraft's deadliest infection. Yes, this is the perfect name for a world. Alright, so the way that this works, I've set it up so that the Sculk Horde will only activate after 10 in-game days. So I'm gonna go and steal the stuff from that village over there. And while I exploit this village for its trades and resources, I'm gonna leave it up to future Croslight to explain how the Sculk Horde mod works. So in vanilla Minecraft, the way that Sculk would originally spread is whenever a mob dies near it. But now, the Sculk Horde can now spread in 2 additional ways. The first of which is through pollination, which I think is pretty self-explanatory. The bees touch the flowers, which then causes the horde to spread. You know, just basic biology stuff. But the second way is through attacking other mobs. Now, whenever anything that is infected attacks another mob, it gives it the borrowed status effect, in which whenever the borrowed effect duration runs out, it'll spawn a bunch of mobs that are infected, as well as infect the ground beneath you. Now, seeing as I only had 10 days to prepare before the horde started, I needed to get geared as fast as possible. And to do that, I was going to have to take advantage of one of Minecraft's most broken mechanics: villager trading. For those of you who don't know, villager trading basically allows you to get diamond armor for hilariously cheap prices. And this makes trading preferable to other methods of getting diamonds such as mining, especially when you consider the fact that 1.20 has nerfed the unholy crap out of mining. Oh my god, it's literally in the name. Why would they remove mining? And for the next 10 in-game days, I followed the same cycle, where I was constantly trading resources, and when the villager trades were on cooldown, I'd go into the mines to try and get more resources. Wait a second. That's cheating. Wait a second, big guy. That's cheating. That's cheating. Oh. Normally to get sticks, I'm sure most people would go out into a forest, contribute to one of the largest causes of global warming, all for the sake of self-benefit in order to turn wood into sticks. But I was a little different. You see, one of the mods in this mod pack is called Better Villages, and this mod basically revamps all villages in Minecraft. And one of the side effects of it is that it contains a whole lot more wood for some reason. So I figured, why run hundreds of blocks away from home in order to mine trees, only to have to run those hundreds of blocks back, when I could just stay right here and get all the wood that way? And I mean, come on, do I really condone the mass robbery of an entire city? No, absolutely not. But I mean, come on, the village was close enough to the Sculk Horde that it was going to get infected anyways. And on top of that, this was by far the fastest way for me to get diamond tools. If you think about it, I'm actually doing the world a favor here. By sacking one village, I save all the others, so mathematically speaking, this is worth it, you know? Now, aside from the one hiccup with the iron golem, my preparation phase had actually been pretty smooth, all things considered, where the hardest parts were getting the villagers to level up their trades and getting mending on the diamond armor. Oh my god, dude, even the inflation in video games is bad. I mean, 64 sticks for a whole emerald? Who can afford prices like that? Come on, show me the goods. Yes, these are actually low-key insane. And after a few more hours of grinding, I was finally able to get a full set of diamond armor. Full diamond armor, baby. Ooh, look at us. I feel so invincible right now. It's just too bad that from my testing, that actually doesn't matter. I need like full prop for everything. While I did celebrate the victory by chopping down the houses of the inhabitants, most of whom actually helped me get this armor, I failed to realize that it had already been 10 in-game days, and that the horde would begin its assault. Uh-oh. Unleash incomprehensible horrors. The Sculk Horde has been unleashed. They're now coming for you. Well, it's been nice knowing this village while it lasted. Now, while I wasn't exactly fully ready to deal with the Sculk Horde, I wasn't really scared either. You see, the way the Sculk Horde works is that it grows in 3 stages. The first stage is its baby stage. This is where the Sculk Horde is at its most harmless. The second stage is at its immature stage. This is when the Sculk Horde begins to become more aggressive in its takeover. And this is where the Sculk Horde will spawn in its first node. And these nodes are important because they all need to be destroyed before the Sculk Horde can be defeated. It was at this point that I was actually really close to finishing my armor. I just needed to get 4 books of mending. But oh my goodness, this villager would not give it to me. You can see the speed at which this is going. This is taking me forever. It actually took me so long to get enchanted books with mending on it that I almost completely forgot about the fact that the Sculk had already been spreading. Uh-oh. Bogies are inbound. We gotta get all this stuff. Get all this stuff. We gotta get out of here. Wait, I'm actually... Oh no, I'm actually getting destroyed. In a desperate attempt to keep myself alive, I pillared up and built myself a little mini sky base. But it was at that moment that I realized I had made a huge mistake. Oh no. Wait. I forgot the amethyst in the chest. Oh no. You see, in order to actually defeat the Horde, you need to deactivate the ancient node, which can only be done by using a pure soul. In order to actually craft a pure soul, you need 8 essence of purity and 1 crying soul. To get the crying souls, it's actually pretty easy. You just need to get 1 block of crying obsidian and place it down near the Horde, and eventually the Horde will infect it. And then you just gotta mine that block later. But the part I was worried about was the essence of purity. And the problem with essence of purity was the crafting recipe, because I had actually mined the amethyst required. It's just too bad I left it all in my chests when I fled the base. So I didn't have any of those. And the second part was the gold. You see, I needed apples and gold. Ironically, I'd eaten all my apples and then used all my gold to make golden carrots, so I was actually out of both. Ultimately, I decided that a tactical retreat was the best option, as this would allow me to get the resources that I so desperately needed. I did at least try to get the rest of the stuff in my chests, but then decided I would have to come back for the stuff later, as I was immediately met with the staggering wall of enemies. No way! It spawned those right in front. Luckily for me, the apples weren't too hard to get. I just had to go and mine a bunch of trees for a little bit. I ended up getting like 3 or 4 apples. It was actually pretty easy, but the part that had me more concerned was the crying obsidian. Fortunately for me, Lady Luck had different plans, and my concerns would soon be put to rest, as in my travels, I came across a ruined portal. And this was huge for several reasons, the first of which is that I could mine the gold blocks, so that immediately solves the gold problem that I was having. The second is that in the chest, it actually came with enough obsidian that I could travel to the nether, meaning I could get more gold, but also it meant that I could travel to a bastion in order to get crying obsidian. And last but definitely not least, I could mine quartz in order to repair my armor with the mending enchantment. I'm just gonna say this now. I am not a speedrunner. I've never tried to speedrun, so this bastion section might look a little ugly. That plus, I don't historically have the best luck when it comes to bastions. My armor's pretty stacked, so the game plan is to just run in and run out and pray I don't mess something up. Seems pretty bulletproof to me. Alright, so there's a slight chance that these piglins are doing pretty decent damage. I might be in a little bit of trouble here. Please don't die. If I die here, I'm gonna be so sad. I'm gonna block up. I'm gonna block, faster. Okay, we're good. Bro, this lag almost got me killed. Actually, I have an idea. Just gonna do this the slow manual way. Alright, quick. While they're not looking, take all the stuff. Oh, that was almost terrible, bro. Alright, now they're stuck. Let's make our move and get out of here. Mine all this sweet yellow cheese. Oh my, leave me alone. Yes, crying obsidian. Yes, this is so good for us. Extra diamond armor too, you know, I'll take it. I don't need 4 diamond axes, I'm good. Once I'd returned from the nether, I went back to the Sculk Horde in order to place down the crying obsidian to pick it up later. And in the meantime, I would go and gather other resources I would need in order to fight against the Sculk Horde. Oh my... Dude, please, leave me alone. I just need to pick up the crying obsidian. Please. Yes. My inventory's full. I got it. Let's go. As I continued to gather resources, I eventually stumbled across another village, and thought that this would be a good opportunity in order to replenish my food supplies. Now I know someone in the comments is going to say this. No, I did not decimate the village. You have no proof. I mean, the worst thing that I did was slightly tamper with their economy. Like, it's not even that big of a deal. Once I got done with everything I needed in the village, I eventually returned to the Sculk Horde in order to gather the last remaining resources that I would need. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it! Oh boy, this is not good. I don't like being in this position. I don't want to be here. Let me go, 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 let me go. No, that's so many things! Okay, we're gonna have to find a way out of here. There are so many things! Leave me be! And just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, they got so much worse. Oh my goodness, you wouldn't believe. Shh. Okay, well, that's not happening. My resin! No! What happened? While I was occupied with getting resources, a second node had spawned in. At this point, a tactical retreat was in order. My time was running out. The Sculk was beginning to spread further and faster than ever before. And with the rise of a second node, it only became that much harder to deal with, meaning I had to find a winning strategy, and fast. I decided to try and brute force my way through to see if I could destroy the nodes. But this ultimately ended in failure, mainly due to the fact that even though I had re-equipped myself, the enemy's numbers were still too overwhelming. I had to find another way to destroy the nodes. And it was at this point when I discovered a critical flaw with the Horde. They couldn't break any blocks. This meant that I could tunnel my way safely all the way to the node and destroy it from underneath. But that wasn't without some issues. You see, nodes have a very powerful defense mechanism. In order to deactivate a node, you actually just have to go and destroy it. But that's much easier said than done, because nodes regenerate, meaning any blocks you mine can grow back. And the second thing are the blocks themselves. You see, it requires diamond tools to even be able to crack the first layer of a node. And that's just the first layer. The second layer is infinitely more annoying to mine. Now, as you can see in those clips behind me, this is what the inside fleshy layer of a node looks like, and that is the actual block itself. Now, as you can see in this clip, I've sped it up 4x, meaning that it's going 4 times faster than normal. I actually timed this, and just for one block to break using a diamond pickaxe with no enchantments, it takes a full minute. It was when I learned this that I decided the best thing for me to do, instead of just bashing my head against the wall for 15 minutes only for the node to regrow around me and suffocate me to death in a wall, was to watch some League of Legends. But after that, the game plan was to go and collect some gunpowder, because while the node's outer shell was incredibly resistant to TNT, the same cannot be said for its flesh. This makes using TNT preferable to trying to mine through the node. Besides, it's TNT. How hard could it possibly be to get? All you have to do is visit a desert temple. Wait a second. That's a desert temple? Right. I forgot I installed that mod. Bruh. Climbing this temple is actually such a task. Alright, we're at the top. It's MLG. Nailed it. First try. Actually, wait a sec. This temple is actually massive. And I have mining fatigue. Okay, well, looks like we're gonna need to find gunpowder a different way. Okay, so plan B was to just smack a bunch of creepers instead, which honestly was just as fine with me, because I could use the mending enchantment to fix my armor. So actually it ended up working out in the end. Alright, now that I've got the gunpowder, it's time to make us some TNT. And then after that we can become heroes. Not exactly sure if we'll be the heroes that this world needs, or that it deserves, but still, we'll be heroes nonetheless. Now, just to give you guys an idea of how fast and deadly the Sculk Horde actually spreads, by the time I had returned to my original tunnel, the Sculk had already infected most of the blocks around it, which only further stresses just how much time was of the essence. But having said all that, I was able to swiftly deal with the first node. It did take a couple extra TNT, but that was fine. I actually had planned for that and brought a little bit extra with me, so... Alright, so I'm just gonna place some stuff underneath and then TNT it. Fire in the hole! Hey... First node destroyed. Sculk Horde 0, Frostlight 1. I won't lie to you guys, blowing up that node was honestly like the most satisfying thing I've done with this mod so far. You don't understand. It's taken me like 10 hours just to get to this point. You don't understand. I have so much footage. It's like 200 gigabytes worth. Now, dealing with the first node was actually hilariously easy, but that's because it spawned on the surface. The second node would be much more difficult to deal with, primarily because it actually spawned underground. This meant that I actually had no idea where it was, but that didn't mean I was hopeless. You see, whenever you're near a node, it gives you the darkness 2 effect. While this doesn't tell you exactly where the node is, it does give you the general area. And I had actually discovered where that was, but that wasn't my concern. My concern was getting there alive. I will not be disturbed while I'm busy. What the? Okay, we gotta go. We gotta go. It's all or nothing now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we gotta go. Looks like we're about to do this dream style. We gotta dig. We gotta dig so much deeper than this. Bro, we're literally exposed right now, and my worries didn't end there. You see, this tunnel is connected to an entire underground village. This means that I would be exposed digging this tunnel at multiple points. They're so close that throwing that potion actually hit them. That's how— look how close there are and how many of them there are. After spending a couple of minutes digging, I was eventually able to worm my way to the second node. Alright, let's see if we can blow our way up to the node. Actually don't know where it is. Oh wait! We got it! Alright, well, I guess it's on to the ancient node. And thus I began tunneling towards the 00 coordinates, which is actually where the ancient node is going to be located. So that was really easy to find. Now, is it cowardly to dig a tunnel to the ancient node? No. Absolutely not. Have you seen where the ancient node actually spawns? It spawns inside of a fortress, dude. This thing is massive. The only time I've seen something this big and dense was when I met your mother. I'm just kidding. I'm sure your mother is a nice lady. Tell her I said hi. But alas, I was able to successfully dig my way to the ancient node. Dug too deep, eh? Locate the Sculk tomb. Aw, yeah. Here we go. This is it, boys. Final stretch. And I think I'm digging into an obsidian wall. Okay, this is gonna take a little bit of time. And now, all I have to do is press right click with the pure soul. And GG, Sculk Horde, you guys suck. Now, using a pure soul on the ancient node does actually cause a mechanic called the Sculk raid to happen. And for what it's worth, even though I did get out, I did try attempting to defeat the Sculk Enderman. It's just too bad. I got completely bodied by this thing. Oh my god, it is so strong. The only way I actually managed to survive this incident was by saving and quitting and then rejoining with the damage buffer, only to use a waystone and TP out. Okay, get me out, get me out, get me out, get me out. Oh, I'm out. Oh my gosh. Now, did I actually defeat the Sculk Horde? Debatable. Am I going to clean up the remaining Sculk? Absolutely not. Though it wasn't for a lack of effort. Did I cheese the unholy crap out of this mod? Absolutely. We win these.